Welcome back to the 801 Diaries podcast. I'm Abby.
And I'm Emily.
How you doing, Emily?
Oh, so good.
So good?
So good. Straight up chilling. But doing
So we kind of let it slip in our last episode. Oopsies.
Oopsies.
That we're kind of recording this one a little early. So
Yes,
I don't think we really have any week updates because it's been about 10 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so. Abby is gonna be the one out of town this weekend, so we can't record next week. So that's why
actually, I'll be back by the time this comes out. But I was out of town the weekend that we would have
when we
normally
were going to
record.
Exactly.
So this is being filmed
Actually,
a little while in advance.
You guys, the day you're listening to this, if you listen to the day it comes out, it's the day before Abby's half marathon. So wish her luck. Send all the messages, text her, comment on her TikTok, comment on the YouTube, send a text message to the link in our bio, in our show notes. Do it all and wish Abby good luck because she's about to run her first half marathon.
So let's talk about this for a second. I am getting more nervous by the moment. And not even nervous that I can't do it because we ran 12 and it's just another 1.1 miles. So I definitely can do it. But
you can do it.
What if I pass out? What if, okay, this is my number one fear. What if I poop my pants? What if I poop my pants?
This is a really good question.
What do you do at that point? Literally, what can you even do? Nothing. You just have to crawl home and cry. So.
Yeah.
I'm very nervous. So
maybe
please
try to remedy the situation beforehand so there's not the option.
We've got some ideas rumbling around in the head, but because there's no rumbling anywhere else. But I'm so
I can't believe you just said that.
I'm so nervous. But me and Maddie, we're gonna wear matching outfits, and we're gonna be bright blue, so that Judy can spot me.
Amazing.
Everywhere.
I love that.
But my goal, we're gonna put my goal into the universe so that I don't mess it up. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
My goal is 2 hours and 30 minutes, which is not fast by any means. And if anyone's there are some people out there who are really weird. But anyways, my goal is 2:30. I've never run a race before, so this is my first race. And I've only been running for 3 months. So that's an 11:30 pace, I think.
I think that's amazing.
That's my goal. I think we'll be able to do it because race day adrenaline, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I am nervous.
I think so.
But I am excited too. So yeah, so when you're watching this, it's literally tomorrow. So send me all your
wish
love.
her all the good luck.
Please.
Please. Just send it all to her. She's gonna do great. And then the next episode we'll get a whole recap, and I'm very excited to hear all about it. So
maybe. Again,
if she doesn't die.
if there's a tragedy crawl back to my home, you will not be getting a recap. You will not be getting a recap.
Will you tell us that you had a tragedy crawl?
You'll learn there was a tragedy crawl, and then we'll move on. Never talk about it again. And just pretend like it never happened, and I've never ever talked about running before, because I've never ran. I'm not a runner. I've never ran.
You've never ran.
If there's a tragedy call. If
there's a tragedy.
If there's not a tragedy call, then I'm the best runner ever.
Exactly.
That's all.
I'm excited. Are you and Maddie planning on doing it together, or are you going to allow yourselves to separate?
Well, we're planning on doing it together. If for some reason she's going faster than me, I'm not telling her she has to hold me back. If I'm going faster than her, I'm not sticking around. So,
yeah.
The plan is to run together. We'll see how it goes.
How it ends up.
How it actually shakes out. But that is the goal.
Nice. That sounds fun. Very excited.
Yeah.
Amazing.
My running vest is disgusting. It needs a good wash, but there's a secret on it. So after the half, then I can wash it, but there's a secret.
Is that from Judy?
There's a Judy secret.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
There's a secret.
Amazing.
But here's a sneak peek of my outfit. Sneak peek.
I love it. It's so cute.
But yeah.
Amazing.
That's it.
We love it. Amazing. We're excited. We'll have a maybe full report.
Pray for a full report, because if not, that means
We
there
are
was a
praying
tragedy crawl.
Yeah, we're pray for a full report.
But the Salt Lake Marathon was yesterday, and people are so crazy. I don't know how people run faster than how I run.
I get it.
At least, especially consistently, because holy cow, that is cuckoo cuckoo.
These people that do a sub 2 hour marathon, crazy.
There has been one person who has done a sub 2 hour marathon.
I thought there were more than that.
And it is the world record holder at 1:59.
Holy crap. No, I swear people we know have done it in like 2:05 or something. Like, they've done it very quickly.
The person we know who runs, I think his fastest was 2:15.
Okay.
So still faster than I'm wanting to do my half. Insane. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I don't get how people do it.
No,
I mean, Harry Styles did it in 3.5 hours. That's crazy.
That's
Anything
insane.
less than 5 hours is crazy to me, but that's just me.
That's just you. But it's okay. I saw a TikTok that said, the comments were like, because people were running marathons, whatever, and the comments were like, yeah, I was pretty bummed to find out that the Boston Marathon wouldn't accept me after a 4:30 marathon. And they were like, yeah, 4 days and 30 minutes, and they still wouldn't accept me. And I said, that is my type of marathon.
For real.
Yeah.
No, the qualifiers for I don't know the qualifiers for Boston. I've never looked into it. But the qualifiers for New York is for women is 3:30 or something like that. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. I'll be there one day.
She's got this. Unless there's a tragedy. Then
Unless
she's never
unless there's a tragedy crawl, and then I've never ran before. I've never once said I wanted to run ever. Nope.
Ever.
Nope.
Not a thing.
So please keep me in your prayers that there's not a tragedy crawl, which I don't think there will be, but you never know. I'm nervous.
You never know what happens. Your body does weird things with nerves. That's all. Okay.
Also pray that I don't get sick or hurt my foot.
You're not.
In the time leading up to
You've got
race.
this. You've got this. You're gonna do so good.
Anyways.
Okay.
I don't really.
We don't have anything.
Well, actually, I do.
Oh.
So, in our little break, because we took a little break, I did my stretch and folds for my bread. If you have been watching me on TikTok, which you should be, I have started my sourdough journey. So I'm doing sourdough bread now. I've made it once, and it tasted yum. It wasn't quite the texture it's supposed to be, but it was delish. So
you're getting there.
We're trying again. I did my stretch and folds, my first set of stretch and folds, and that's all. I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. I'm very excited to see how this turns out.
I kind of want to make, I purposefully made a lot so I can make 2 loaves.
Ooh.
I kind of want to make something fun with one of the loaves.
Ooh.
Do a regular loaf and maybe a fun loaf. I also really want to make bagels. That's really why I started all this, was to make bagels.
It looks like fun.
That's all.
I love it. I love it. Okay, should we get into the episode then?
Sure.
Okay. So because this is a pre-recorded episode, we didn't want to do anything too timely that would make us look out of date. So we're back to doing our favorite thing. And also, I will say, I did get in-person feedback yesterday about our podcast, and this is a very popular thing for us to do. So, because I was talking to a bunch of friends yesterday, and
I get what you're saying. People like the brackets.
People like the brackets, so we're doing a bracket today. I told Abby, because we're approaching summer, we're getting to that time of the year. I told Abby we were gonna do a coming of age summer movie bracket. Amazing, we love those. I asked ChatGPT for a list of 20 coming of age summer movies. I had seen about 3 of them.
What were they?
So, can't remember.
Oh,
Cannot remember.
Gotcha.
This was about 40 minutes ago. I do not remember. Okay. So we quickly transitioned to a different type of bracket, which I think arguably more fun.
I'm nervy. Okay.
Are you ready, Abby,
Yeah.
to find out the top movie villain of all time?
Yes, I am ready.
See,
I have
is a
one
good
in
one.
mind, so we will see. We will see.
if it's there, if it's on the list, because again, I picked movies that I know both of us have seen.
That's good. That's important.
Because there were quite a few movies I had never seen with top movie villains of all time. So,
We will see.
okay. So, let's get into this one. Okay, are you ready, Abigail?
Yeah.
Where did it go? It disappeared. Okay, it's back. Okay. Start the tournament. Now, this is going to be a fun one. Number 1. The first round. We have the number 1 villain of all time, Lord Voldemort, versus
Voldy.
Hannibal Lecter.
Okay. So if we're going by sheer number of victims, Voldemort killed a lot more people.
Obviously.
Hannibal
I
Lecter
don't
ate a
think-
couple.
I don't think number of victims should be the end all be all,
Deciding
because
factor. No, that's
there
fine.
is someone who will win no matter what
Oh. Okay.
on here because of that. So I think and I'm not, and this is a chaotic list of people, so be ready to debate so many different versions of people. So
I'm so excited.
yeah.
Okay,
you should
so
be.
back to Voldemort and Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter did eat people, which is insane.
Wild.
Voldemort tried to gun down a baby. Also
did.
wild.
Also insane.
And like then proceeded to follow this poor child through the rest of his life, continually every one time a year. He had one time a year gun down this child. So
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's bad.
Yeah.
Hannibal
You
Lecter
know,
ate people. I
He
mean,
did. And he had an old friend for dinner.
also, I love Silence of the Lambs. I think that is such a great movie. I've never seen any of the other ones that have him in it, the Hannibal movies or whatever. I've never seen any of those.
He has other movies?
Yeah.
Oh,
does.
I just thought it was Silence of the Lambs.
No, he has, I think they're
so-
called Hannibal or something like that.
Okay, then we're
Um,
specifically talking about Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter, because I don't know anything else.
I think Hannibal Lecter is a little scarier
I do
than
too.
Voldemort, but I think Voldemort's more evil. I think he's more evil. He wanted to take over the world.
He did. And I will agree with you. I think he's more evil. I think Hannibal Lecter is scarier to me.
Yeah.
So how should we decide who is a better villain? Scarier to you or more evil?
I say we do
Or-
more evil.
Okay, so
I
this
feel like
one will-
Voldemort's a better villain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
No, I
Hannibal
get
Lecter is scarier, but I feel like a villain.
Voldemort
is
is more of a classic villain,
villain. Yeah.
versus Hannibal Lecter. You're kind of in
He's-
his mind more.
Yeah, and he is spooky. He's a big time spooky.
Spook City. Big
Hello,
Spook City.
Clarice. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Okay,
Anyways.
so Lord
Voldemort.
Voldemort shall move on.
Oh, also, while I run, I'm listening to the Harry Potter books. Harry Potter books. I'm on Prisoner of Azkaban right now. And the guy who reads
Reads.
them
Yeah.
pronounces his name Voldemort. And
Oh.
I think these were recorded after the movies had came out. And there's a lot
he
of things
should
that he
have.
pronounces differently, and it throws me off every time. It doesn't bother me. It just throws me off. I
It just
had to
throws
be
you off.
like, who is this? Who's he talking
Interesting.
about? Also, I can't remember how he says Boggarts, but it's weird. Anyways,
Really?
continue. Not important.
Okay. This is we're hitting a spot where there's going to be I wasn't exclusive to one villain per franchise.
Perfect.
Just so we're aware.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Number 2. This is where we're really going to have to compare.
Okay.
We have Randall Boggs from Monsters, Inc.
Hello, Randall.
versus President Coin from the Hunger Games.
Easy. President Coin. Randall just
She-
wanted to be a scarer. He had been
did.
cut
That's-
down his whole life, and he just wanted
It's
to be
all
the
he
number
wanted
one
to do.
scarer. And everyone made fun of him when he was a kid. And I love Randall.
I know you do. So I think
Coin
he's
was
more
evil.
misunderstood. Coin is pure evil.
She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna I'm gonna be everyone's savior, and I'm going to, save everyone from President Snow. Psych. I'm worse than President Snow.
Yeah, that she really is. She really is. So I think President Coin is the better villain of these two.
Yeah, Randall's not a villain. He's misunderstood.
Okay. This is a fun one. This is where they're in the similar arenas.
Okay.
Jafar versus Hades.
Ooh. Jafar was super spooky when I was little. He was just really scary.
He's very Spook City.
Hades again wanted to take over the entire world.
Yes.
And not just the world, the gods as well. Like,
yes.
He wanted control of everything.
But I will say, there's something about Jafar with his little chin
beard
hairs when Jasmine curls it with her
Ew.
finger. That just makes me think he's the better villain.
Well, I'll say this. I think Jafar was just evil. I think Hades was a product of his environment a little bit.
Okay.
Brother was cast down to the underworld to deal with all of these dead people.
True.
I mean,
and the fates.
what? Wouldn't you want to get out of there too?
You would. You would.
Jafar was just being
evil
crazy.
dude.
He was out there conspiring, stealing, you know?
Not good. Yeah, oh, I know, ma'am. So I'm gonna go with Jafar.
I'm gonna go
on
with
this
Jafar
one.
too.
Yeah, amazing. Okay. This is the worst lineup I've ever seen. Sorry for this bracket, because there's an obvious winner, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Regina George
Slay.
versus our beloved Coriolanus Snow.
Okay, so first of all, Regina George slayed so hard. That
hard.
hair, that wig slayed so hard.
So hard.
We also got some of the greatest one-liners in the whole entire world from Regina George. I mean,
We
is butter
did.
a carb? Slay.
Is it? Probably.
I'm just gonna have cheese fries. Literally, she slays so hard. She slays so hard.
She does.
I will say, the obvious answer is no. I will say, Regina George is one of the more, tangible villains, you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Everyone knows a mean girl. Everyone has
Yes.
had experience with a mean girl. So I will say she's one of the more, realistic
We all
villains.
know her. We know a Regina George.
Yes.
You know her. Obviously,
again-
we don't know a President Snow.
No. I think she was
Thank goodness.
misunderstood. I think
I do.
She was just
just
put in an
confused.
environment where she became the worst version of herself. And she corrected that at the end. So she had a redeeming arc. President Snow? No way. He's just evil.
No. But I will say, President Snow, very evil. We don't stand, but we love Coriolanus. But he knew he was evil. He knew what he was about. When him and Katniss talk in Mockingjay
No,
Part 2.
okay. He did at that point. During Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, he thought he was the hero.
No. Yes, that is very true.
And so are we talking about Coriolanus or are we talking about President Snow? Because they're two different...
No, we're talking about President Snow. Because I think Tom Blythe Coriolanus, that is a different... That's the becoming of the villain where he knows he's bad. But President Snow, when he's full-fledged, by the time he meets Katniss, he knows he's evil. And, I applaud that. He just knows what he wants. And he's unapologetic in that.
Very true.
Evil. Bad villain. But I think that makes him a better villain, that he knows he's the villain. Do you know?
Also, you remember the time when he's like, "Oh, I'm not above killing children, but I'm not wasteful." He did what he had to do to serve his purpose.
Yeah.
And that was an evil purpose. But he acted
was upfront about
towards
it.
his purpose. And not evil for the sakes of evil, but but
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree. So I think, obviously, President Snow wins for the better villain out of these two.
He's a more complex character. But we do love Regina George.
But we do love Regina George. Okay, here we go. This is kind of an interesting one. We have Mother Gothel What a villain. Versus Mr. Potter from It's a Wonderful Life. I think it's Mr. Potter.
Really? I was going to say, I think it's Mother Gothel.
Really?
She stole a baby and hid her in a
did.
tower for her own selfish reasons so she could be young and sexy, okay? Mr. Potter just wanted money.
Mr. Potter was just a crotchety old man.
He was a crotchety old man, and I
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean, see,
I
this
think-
is why
I
I think this
think
one's
Mother
an
Gothel.
interesting one. You know, I can see Mother Gothel. Her overall was more evil.
I
Mr.
feel like
Potter was just a jealous man.
he was just a sad, pathetic old man.
Yes.
Where Mother Gothel was evil.
There was malice, like
I mean,
in her
yeah.
soul, like
Yeah.
deep in her heart was malice.
Yeah.
And there was no caring.
No.
So I think it is Mother Gothel, but I found that to be a nice pairing. I feel like that's a good
That is a good one.
one.
That is a good one.
Okay, now this I think is the ultimate villains of ever.
Okay.
Okay, ready? And this is why we can't go off of numbers for one of these people. Thanos versus Darth Vader.
Okay. See, these are two just absolute legends.
Exactly. This is a big one because I feel like these are two of the most iconic movie villains ever. It's these two.
See, this is my initial thoughts.
Okay.
Thanos thought he was doing something good. I don't know what Darth
Yes.
Vader's motivation was.
You know, I don't either.
So I feel like Thanos is better in the sense of he's a more well-rounded villain. He had purpose.
He did have purpose.
Where I feel
He
like Darth
did.
Vader was just evil to be evil because things didn't work out with Padme, so naturally it's become a dictator.
Yeah. And also, if we go with Darth Vader canonically in the 4 through 6, there's really no purpose because we don't hear about Padme. We don't really understand
Yeah.
anything. We get the humanization of him in
At the end.
1 through 3
Yeah.
and at the very end, but we don't get the why behind
Yeah.
why.
So I say
Where-
Thanos because he has purpose. You understand why he is killing half of the
Half of-
universe,
all creation.
which is wild, but you know.
Whoa. I agree with you. I think
Okay.
I think we will move Thanos on.
But Darth Vader,
A
Annie?
great villain.
you slay. You slay.
We love Daddy Annie. Okay, this one I like. I like this one as well. Similar vibes, I feel like. We have Judy's favorite villain of all time. Can you guess what it is?
The city councilman who tries and stop the guy in Field of Dreams from building his baseball field.
No. Good one.
That's not it. What?
It's not it.
Did
Try
you think
again.
I was funny?
I think so. She's sitting right next to me. Do you have any comments on that?
No, it's not.
Judy, do you want to tell us who it is?
Loki.
Oh, see, I don't think
Loki.
Loki's a villain. I do not think Loki is a villain.
If we go strictly Thor 1, villain. And Avengers, villain.
But I love him.
I know. He's an amazing villain in those. He truly is. Like, and then his character arc, whatever. He's wonderful. We love him so much. He's paired with the Joker. Now, I want to take it a step farther and be a little bit more specific.
Heath
I would
Ledger.
like to place it as Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yes.
Thank you. Because that's the top tier Joker of all time. There has never
Absolutely.
been, nor will there ever be a better Joker than Heath Ledger.
Yes.
Like, bar none. So, but I feel like the not aesthetics, but there's similarities behind Joker and Loki. You know, they're both mischievous. You know, they both wear green.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
similarities.
I don't know if I would call the Joker mischievous.
When he blows up the hospital, he's laughing, joking.
Does that-
Joker mischievous?
Does that make him mischievous? You know, if that's what you think mischievous means, by all means, works for me.
Yeah. I think the Joker is especially Heath Ledger's characterization of it is a A-class villain. Loki, love him so much. I love him too much for him to be a menacing villain.
That's the thing. Okay, I haven't seen Thor 1 or Avengers 1 in a long time. I'm not gonna lie. It has probably been 10 years. So,
Wow, watch Avengers 1. That's a solid movie.
I am speaking off of memory here.
Okay.
I don't, and it could be that my memory has been tainted. I feel like
Okay.
even when watching those, I felt bad for Loki. I did not see him as a villain. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there was always something there that was like, you are just a hurt man.
You are.
You just
broken.
need love.
He was taken from the blue people.
But that's why he was such a
And
good
lied
villain.
to.
That's why he was such a good villain, Abby. It's because you felt sorry for him.
But does that
He
make
could
him
get
a
away with
villain?
killing people and doing everything.
I feel
and
like
you
you.
still felt bad for him.
That is
That's
true.
why he was the perfect. That's why he was the perfect villain.
I mean, I think that's I think she does make a good point.
She does make a good point. Absolutely. I think that's very fair because he was a villain you felt bad for.
Yeah. You
I
cared
just-
about him and you felt bad.
Absolutely. I personally think Heath Ledger's Joker is
Yeah.
the best villain of all time. Like, genuinely, I think he could go to
Oh.
number one. I think
Really?
The Dark Knight is one
The
of
Dark
the
Knight is-
best
yeah.
superhero movies ever made.
Ever made.
And it's because of Heath Ledger
Heath
in that
Ledger.
movie.
Yeah.
He
I
did
will agree.
such a great job.
Yeah.
That I feel like he has to go on. Even though I love Loki so very much, Mom. I love him so much.
It's okay.
She wasn't trying to talk. I just put the microphone in front of her face. Judy is with me, for those of you that haven't caught on. So she's just right here and listening in. So she's providing the commentary when I ask her to
Yes.
provide. Well, when I just shut the microphone in
Yes.
front of her.
But
So,
I just,
there we go.
like, if you go back and watch The Dark Knight, he is the best
He is.
character ever. He is so good.
He really is. If Loki was probably paired with anybody else besides
He
the
would be
Hunger
going
Games
on.
villains, he would be going on.
Yes.
I think that's a fair, you know. But we
Yeah.
gotta. Oh, do you have
But I
something?
love Loki
I
so
just
much.
think Loki, he just turned into a cartoon character towards the end.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think they ruined his character. I think they did
But
ruin
the
him.
first two Avengers, the first
Avengers
is
and
that the first one he was in?
he was in Thor,
And Thor.
and then the Avengers movie, the first
those
Avengers.
two, he was scary.
He was a really like menacing villain in those ones. I will say that. Like when
And
he
I haven't seen it
pops
in a long
out of the
time.
Tesseract, like it's some pretty good stuff. So
Oh,
I
but he's
will
so
say
cute.
he's so cute. Oh my gosh! And by the time
his long
Thor
hair,
Ragnarok
oh my
with
gosh.
no, it's what is it? Is
It's
it
the
Thor
Dark World.
2?
Thor Dark
It's
World.
the Dark World when he's disheveled, and his mom comes to visit him, and he has his curly wig.
He's so
He's so
cutie.
good looking.
Oh, I love him.
Oh my goodness. So
Sorry, he's
there we
too
go.
hot. He can't go on.
You just can't be a good looking villain, you know what I mean? Okay.
I love him.
Continuing to the last of the first round. I think one of these people is probably one of my top. Okay? So I think it'll be very obvious, but I think one of these is the top. We have Scar from Lion King versus Professor Umbridge. from Harry Potter
Dolores!
5. Dolores
Dolores!
Umbridge.
Dolores is absolutely terrifying. It is easily Dolores. Scar was just misunderstood.
Easily. Again, another
Another
I
just
think we're
misunderstood.
finding that the Disney villains are mostly misunderstood.
Except Jafar.
Except
but,
for our Mother Gothel.
Dolores Umbridge is one of the most terrifying. She's way scarier than Voldemort. She is one of the most
Way
terrifying
scarier.
people in the whole entire world.
Yeah, no,
She
absolutely.
was so evil. And okay, I haven't gotten to that book yet, so I don't know. And when I say this, a lot of people who have read the books have a lot of opinions. Order
Okay.
of the Phoenix is my favorite Harry Potter movie. Now
Yes.
again, when
Correct
everyone goes,
answer.
"Have you read the book?" It's not really as good of a book adaptation as the other one. Anyways, okay, I get that. I've never read the book. I love the movie, and she is so mean and scary and evil.
Terrifying. Like in that movie, she is more scarier than Lord Voldemort. I think quite
In any
the
of the movies,
overarching
she's
Harry
more
Potter,
scary.
she is more scary than him. But like that one, because that he has a pretty big arc in that. Like Voldemort himself, you know, like he's
He's
that's
a
when
main
he-
character in that one.
He is a main character, and she is light years beyond more terrifying than he is. Like she's quite literally probably my number one because she's crazy.
She
Like,
is
absolutely
absolutely
insane.
just scary. She is so scary, and she's one
Yeah.
that's like realistic while still being like otherworldly scary too.
Yes.
Like she's
Yes.
real life scary and otherworldly scary too.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Because I feel like we all know those like take her out of Harry Potter, right, with the magic, whatever. But like the two perfect, they're scary people,
Or
where
the-
everything is so prim and proper and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Because you know that it's just not. It's unsettling. It's too perfect.
And the authority figure who way overstepped their bounds.
Yeah.
Like she's just terrifying. She's terrifying.
Terrifying. So she obviously moves on. So there we go. Okay, next round. This one might be controversial, but I have an opinion on this one. We have Lord Voldemort against President Coin.
I think it's Coin. I think
I do too.
Well, okay. Well, also I watch Harry Potter so often. I'm probably just
Desensitized.
desensitized to Voldemort, but and again, I'm in my Hunger Games era right now. Not to the point where I can, watch the movie, but I'm so deep into my Hunger Games era that I can't
that you
watch the
can't
movie.
even watch. Yeah.
I think President Coin is so scary because
She's terrifying.
she played off as Voldemort was just evil. Voldemort, you knew he was evil. She tried
knew he was
to
evil.
play as the good person,
Like,
the person who was
like,
coming to rescue all of these people who had been
all of Panem.
all under this horrifically tyrannical regime for
Yes.
75 years, and she was coming to rescue them, and she was just as bad.
She was
She was worse because
Worse?
she tried to play it as good.
good. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like because again, we're really deep in Hunger Games right now, and I rewatched Mockingjay very recently, and she really is terrifying. Like that last Mockingjay part 2, quite literally, she's the whole villain. Snow
the villain.
isn't a villain at all. There is
No.
nothing about him that is villain like. I feel like not really, but in comparison to Coin, that she just does it when she suggests the last ceremonial Hunger Games with the Capitol's children. There's just something
So evil about that.
so evil about that, and the way Julianne Moore did such
such a
an
good job.
amazing job. Like she was
Also-
amazing as Coin.
She had an F.A. Bob. And that is a crime in and of itself. That is a
Yes.
crime in and of itself.
Yes, and she acted her butt off with that bob, and she did
did.
so good.
She did.
And like I don't know, it's just really President Coin just really gets me. So I think it's President Coin.
I
I
would
think
agree.
you agree as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out Voldy, though. I love you. No, I don't, but I love Harry Potter.
Okay, now this one I think we'll also have the same opinion. We have Jafar versus President Snow.
President Snow, I think.
Yeah. I think as well.
Jafar, again, while he was one of the spookier Disney villains, he's still a Disney villain. And
He's a Disney villain.
not that
President
they don't
Snowden.
have their merit, for sure.
Yes.
But President Snow sent 24 kids, sometimes 48,
Every
into
year.
the Hunger Games every year to murder each other, to fight to the death. Literally fight to the death, which is insane.
Insane. And he made the games what they are. He really just, Okay, so President Snow moves on. Next, we have Mother Gothel versus Thanos.
I mean, it's Thanos.
It
Even
is.
though, I mean, to me, and again, I don't think I've seen any of the, last 3 Avengers since the movie theater. I haven't watched them again, ever. So, for sure, Infinity War and Endgame. Or maybe, for sure, Endgame. I might have watched Infinity War right before Endgame came out, but I can't remember. But they came out, right next to each other. So, it's been a long, long time.
Yeah.
I remember him being kind of gimmicky. I wasn't
Yeah.
super duper scared of him, if that makes sense.
I don't remember being scared of him like with some of these other ones.
Yeah.
He was
He was evil, for sure.
Yeah, very evil, but not scary.
I'm
I
way
don't
more
remember-
scared of the others on the list than I am of him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Honestly, more scared of Jafar, if we're being completely honest.
That's because he's got his little...
He's got his little
it's so
chin curls.
twisted. That scene was terrifying as a child.
Terrifying. That was actually the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Hated it. But yeah, I think in sheer villainous, Thanos is more than Mother Gothel.
Agreed.
Okay, so for the last of this round, this is going to be an interesting matchup. We have the Joker versus Professor Umbridge. And I think it's Dolores Umbridge.
Okay, so truly in my heart of hearts, I think it's the Joker. But I'm okay with Dolores because I also think Dolores is terrifying. I just think Heath Ledger's Joker is the best portrayal of a villain of all time. It's so good.
I agree. He is truly his portrayal is amazing. I think though Dolores Umbridge as a character, if you get down to the specs of the character, I think she's more scary than the Joker.
See, I don't. But it could be that I'm desensitized to Harry Potter because I watch it all the time.
Should we ask for a third party to decide?
Phone a friend.
Should we phone a friend?
Is
on
our
this
friend
one?
sitting next to you? I don't
Yeah.
think she's seen The Dark Knight.
No? Okay, she
I
can't.
can have an opinion though.
She can have an opinion
Okay.
though, she says. Should we
Ask
ask
her
her
opinion.
opinion? Okay. What's your opinion?
So my opinion on this, girls,
Thank you.
is that I've never seen The Dark Knight, but I do know the Heath Ledger legend, and it really messed him up. I mean, he played it
It killed him.
so well. But in reality life, I would experience a Professor Umbridge way before I had ever experienced a Joker.
That's true.
Therefore, Professor Umbridge is the scariest.
But I don't know if I necessarily agree just because they're not the most realistic that they're not the better villain.
Well, no, I think Dolores Umbridge, it's just the sense of the portrayal of innocence in her, the way she puts herself off, because Joker is very open that he is not a good dude. He's very open about the bank robbing and the blowing up the hospital and all that kind of jazz. Whereas Professor Umbridge is very stuck in the fact, or the idea, not a fact, because it's very much not a fact, that she is a I just hear, we must have order,
Yes.
just this perfect, everything must go this and everything is perfect. Like when you go in there and all of her cats are on the wall and she has her perfect tea and the way that she twirls the tea. Like there's just something about it's almost the scariness of perfection for me that like really makes her scary.
That's fair. See, I think
it's too close. I think it's too close to. Those two are too close.
This is a good like discussion for one because these are very close.
I think with Umbridge, you could reason with her. And I don't think you could reason with the Joker. And I think there's something scarier. No, I think Dolores understood how society runs enough that I think you could reason with her. The Joker is so unhinged. There's no reasoning with him at all. Like, there is nothing you could do with him to put any kind of reason onto him. He's so absolutely insane. And I think there is something scary about something you absolutely cannot control at all, who has all this power and all this ability to cause chaos and evil and destruction, and there is literally nothing you can do about it.
I understand that. I think, I mean, I think this is quite literally a very hard pairing up against each other because they're both in their respective worlds. They're kind of perfect villains.
Yes, but I think the difference is Dolores was either serving under Fudge or under Voldemort. Like she wasn't left to her own devices in the way that the Joker was.
I get that. I understand. I think that I'll give that one. And
But Dolores is scary. She is so scary. I'm not saying she's not. I just think the Joker is a better villain.
I get that. Okay. This top 4 is not really where I expected it to go, so this is really fun. Okay. Semifinals. Here we go. It is a battle of the presidents. President Coin versus President Snow.
President Coin is scarier.
Yes.
Because of all the reasons we have talked about.
I agree.
She played like she was coming to create order and create a life that these people had never lived before. She was one of them, kind of a thing, and then she was just as evil as Snow, but more evil in the sense of she wasn't upfront about it, kind of a thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like truly when it comes down to it, President Snow, evil.
But he wasn't wasteful, where Coin was wasteful.
Prim. But I mean, to her that wasn't wasteful because she thought it would get Katniss on her side. But we don't need to get into Hunger Games lore right now. But because we could. But yeah, no, Snow was never wasteful, and he was upfront about what his evil was, what he was doing. I really think the scariness of that round table with the surviving victors when Coin poses that last final. The thing is it wouldn't have been the last final Hunger Games. She would have kept it going. But there's something that's so scary and just eerie when she proposes that idea.
She's playing it off as justice. Like, this is how we get justice against the Capitol, who had tormented us all of these years. But that is so completely missing the point of what the entire point of this series had been. And it's just, she's terrifying. She's terrifying.
Yeah, I agree. Beat Snow. Absolutely. This one I think is a little easier. I think. We have Thanos versus the Joker. And I think the Joker. The Joker's
terrifying. Thanos just wasn't ever scary to me. Like, he's a great villain. He just wasn't ever scary to me. The Joker was terrifying.
Terrifying. Amazing. Okay. The finals. And I think these are good finals. This is a good final. President Coin versus the Joker. Now, I think this one's hard because I think there's arguments where both of them they're different enough in their approach to villainism, where like
it's a new term.
It's such a new term, but they're kind of complete opposites that it's hard to compare
together.
Together because like Joker was so upfront with his evilness. Coin was so deceptive with hers. Like, there's just so many different things that are hard to rank together because they're opposites in the terms of a
I
villain.
feel like all of the things I said about Umbridge work for Coin being a scarier villain, in the sense of, like, she wasn't absolutely unhinged like the Joker was. Like, she was...
She wasn't.
She feigned control to get power, and then once she got power, she, like, not lost control, but, like, lost...
She wanted more. She tried to take more control.
Yeah, like, she wasn't... She got to the point, like, she feigned being a part of a society or a group or something until she became the one in power, and then it was her way or the highway kind of a thing. Like, I don't know how that makes sense. But, like, all of the things I said about Umbridge work is the same but the opposite for Coin. If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I feel like she is so scary because she played the system so well. I think that's what I'm trying to... She played the system so well that she got to the point where she was the one in charge. And was able to do anything she wanted to do.
And convince the people that it was okay, like, that it was good. Because, like, obviously the victors didn't really go for the Hunger Games or whatever, but you look at...
Well, in Italy they did. In Italy they did. Because Katniss and Haymitch knew each other so well that they knew what was kind of going on. Like, Haymitch knew what was going on.
Trust Katniss.
But in Italy they did win.
In Italy they did win, but in reality it wasn't for that purpose. But I think with Coin, she'd convinced just so many of these people. Like, I think about Gale, okay? Now, Gale didn't know for sure that the bombs were going to come and kill Prim, but he was okay with the idea of sacrificing the children where the bombs were coming. Yeah. Like, he was okay with the bombings. He didn't quite know it was going to be Prim, though Coin knew it was going to be Prim.
But he was still okay with the bombings.
But he was okay with it, and there were so many people that it was just wild to see her like, it was just interesting to see that these people who were like, because obviously District 12 was so vulnerable when 13 came to rescue them after the bombings and everything, that, like, she took these people who were vulnerable and who just wanted freedom. Like, there was not the idea of trying to get back at the Capitol in 12 before. Like, that wasn't a thing, and then she was able to twist and, like, manipulate them in, like, their extreme need to become these people that even after President Snow was arrested,
like after they had won,
that they were still willing and wanting to and okay with doing what had been done to them, even though that had never been brought up before. And I think there's to me, there's something about that and the way that she controlled and manipulated things that's just that is, like, a different level of evil. Because, again, I will be frank, I haven't seen The Dark Knight in a little while, so I need to rewatch because it's obviously a great movie. But if I remember correctly, which, please correct me, there wasn't the same level of, like, getting behind the Joker as there was with Coin.
I would say, like, the Joker was terrifying because it was just him. He was completely out of his mind. He could do whatever he wanted, felt no repercussions. He could, like, absolutely insane. But it was just him. I mean, he had his followers and things like that, but it was really just him doing... Yeah. He had people, kind of helping, but it was really just him. Coin is terrifying because she got a nation behind her by pretending to be a good person. She was so deceptive about what her true intentions were and where it led that I think Coin wins.
I do too. I think she wins because for the sole deception of who she was and how she got these people to be behind her. Like, where that was never something they were trying to go
Well, you
for
think
before.
about,
You know, maybe...
like, you watch the first Hunger Games, or you read the book, and you go, how on earth did it get to this point? How does a country just be okay sending all of these kids in to fight to the death? And you see throughout the books how that happens with Coin. Like, you see how someone takes over and creates so much power and so much influence where they're able to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And they'll do whatever they want to keep that power.
Yeah, and it's scary. And I think she was such an unexpected villain that makes it scary. That she could creep up on you like that throughout the books.
I agree.
Yeah. So I think it's
I think
President
so too. I think the Joker put up a good fight though. He is so scary.
I agree.
And again, this is
So
Heath Ledger's Joker. That is what we are focusing on.
Specifically. We're not going into any of the other ones.
Because there are a many.
Many, and I don't care.
But so I think President Coin is our winner. President Coin is our winner.
President Coin is our top villain, our top movie villain of all time. Which I think she is a top movie villain. I also think it's very funny that our top movie, we're in our Hunger Games.
We are in our Hunger Games area.
But the thing is, I think right now we're so deep into it that we really know the lore of what happened. That we can really explain our...
You don't... Okay. So,
I know. I don't know.
If you listened to last week's episode, you should know Emily said originally that it should have been done by now. But...
I said by the next time we recorded, which I meant to be...
The next time.
Later.
Next date.
Next week. Next episodes.
Not this episode, the next episode.
I'll have finished
Emily should have finished Sunrise on the Reaping.
I will have finished the book.
I can't even talk about it. Well, and I can't talk about it because I don't want to give any spoilers, but also awful. Awful.
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
And I hate snow. But in the end, he was very upfront about what he was doing. Where Coin was it?
Yes. Coin wasn't.
Anyways.
So there we go. There we go, guys.
Maybe I'll try and watch
villain.
Catching Fire again. Maybe we'll try again. I love Hunger Games.
Maybe.
Anyways.
Really, it's such a good one. But yeah. That is it for this week,
So we'll be doing polls again like we normally do with our brackets.
Our brackets.
So you can go over there and vote on who you think is the worst movie villain.
Who you think is the...
And let us know what your thoughts are. Do you disagree with us on any of these? Do you think we were so totally wrong or something?
I feel like these can be like... I think for the most part, our takes are pretty mainstream, I would say, with the lot of villains that was in there. But I think there's going to be some controversial ones. So I'm very excited to see what other people think. Let us know because we want to know. We want to hear from you guys. So, and thank you to Judy for being a voice of reason and a third party in this group. That's all. Follow us on TikTok.
Follow us on your preferred streaming platform and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on your social media, which does include TikTok. It's just A01 Diaries podcast everywhere. And wish me good luck on my race tomorrow. And
please do, you guys.
I think that's it. Is that everything?
I think that's everything. We'll see you guys later. Bye.